because we are weeks and weeks and weeks away from kickoff. We are in the middle of March, but the draft is almost a month away. On the 24th, this Thursday will be 1 month away from the NFL draft, guys. 1 month away. And pretty much all the big juicy nuggets have already happened already. Like DK Metcalf leaving Seattle, going to Pittsburgh, big deal. Geno Smith leaving Seattle as well. He's going to the Raiders. Man, Sam Darnold signs that deal. A nice deal with the Seahawks, right? Nothing's really happened over the last couple of days. Mekhi Becton for the Eagles did sign with the Chargers. He was another piece to fall. So we're going to go over all these teams, all the free agency moves. We're going to just talk about the way these rosters are kind of shaping up as we move closer and closer to the NFL draft. We will be there in about 5 weeks, man. 5 weeks away. And then after that, it's the countdown to minicamp and the regular season, guys. And then hopefully this time will zoom by and it'll be time for the NFL season, right? Arizona Cardinals add Dalvin Tomlinson, LJ Collier, Zay Jones, Jacoby Brissett, Josh Sweat. That's the big move for the Cardinals this offseason. The Cardinals add Josh Sweat. 4 years, $76 million deal. $41 million guaranteed. Sweat is reunited with Jonathan Gannon. He was his defensive coordinator for 2 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Cardinals need some much-needed pass help, right? Pass rush has been pretty awful for the Cardinals over the last few years. So, Sweat earned $41 million guaranteed, guys. Nice deal. They also added edge Baron Browning. Now, on to the Falcons. They added edge Leonard Floyd on a 1-year, $10 million deal. Cornerback Mike Hughes, Divine Diablo, 2 years, $14 million. Not the best deal. And then the Ravens. The Ravens have been pretty slow this offseason as well. They did add DeAndre Hopkins. I think DeAndre Hopkins is cooked, guys. I don't think DeAndre has a lot of juice left in the tank. He did sign a 1-year, $6 million contract, guys. So it's not a lot. But they're taking a little flyer on DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's pretty much cooked, man. He was... the Ravens brought in Cooper Rush to back up Lamar Jackson. Very interesting move because Cooper Rush and Lamar Jackson have very different games. But I think they're thinking if Lamar Jackson gets hurt, they're going to be a more just hand the ball off to the running back type of offense, right? So, and Cooper Rush doesn't really turn the ball over too much, so that's why they brought him in. Yeah, I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do, Jacob, at the quarterback position. Maybe they draft one in the later rounds, or they bring back Trey Lance on a short-term deal. But yeah, Cooper Rush was the backup for Dak Prescott for years. He's gone. He signs with the Ravens. And the Ravens also re-signed Ronnie Stanley. 3 years, $60 million. It's a pretty, pretty solid contract, right? Pretty solid. 3 years, $60 million. Next up, Buffalo Bills this offseason. A- overall grade from PFF. They brought back DeMar Hamlin on a 1-year contract. Larry Ogunjobi. I think that's a low risk, high reward type of situation. Same thing goes with Joey Bosa. Now I'm an Eagles fan? What do you mean? Do you follow this channel, man? I cover other teams, but I'm a diehard Eagles fan, Max. Ask anyone that follows the channel, dude. Come on, man. Come on. Yeah, listen to Jacob, Max. Anyone that's in the Eagles YouTube ether knows the J All Day show, man. Come on. Come on, baby. JJ, welcome to the chat. Okay, Max has got jokes today. He's got the Sunday jokies going on. I do like the Bills. The Bills are my number 2. I'm not even as like the Eagles are way up there and the Bills are down here, but I do like the Bills. I got a soft spot for the Bills. I was a big Bills fan growing up when they were like awesome with like Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith, Andre Reed, Steve Tasker, that whole bunch. You know, Bruce Smith was like my idol growing up. I always wanted to be Bruce Smith, but you know, I'm not quite as big as Bruce Smith is, huh? But guys, I appreciate you tuning in to the live chat. We're up to 14,664 subscribers. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, guys. Much appreciated. I just did a Bills mock draft, put out a bunch of Eagles content this weekend. But the Bills getting Joey Bosa. I like that deal. I think it's a low risk, high reward. And Bosa's still only 29. Max, I would love that. That would be the J All Day NFL show's heaven. That would be heaven for me. Bills. I live in California too, so if the Bills and Eagles are in the Super Bowl, I'm going. Yeah, JJ knows I'm a closet Chiefs fan for sure. But Joey Bosa, I like that deal. 1 year, $12 million. $12 million guaranteed. But for what he could provide if he's healthy, that would be a huge deal for the Buffalo Bills. They also added Michael Hocht, but he just popped for PED, so he's going to miss the first 6 games. I think Ogunjobi, he also popped for PEDs. And then they brought in Josh Palmer, the wide receiver from the Raiders. 3 years, $36 million, half of the deal guaranteed. My speaker's going in and out. Okay, let me see what's up. Let me see if I can refinagle this thing. All right, let's see if... Is that better, guys? Can you hear me? Let's move it this way. All right, how's that? Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat, guys, if you can hear me better. Christina Amaral, welcome to the chat. Go Birds. All right, thanks, Jacob. All right, thanks, JJ. I think the little things holding up my phone might have been messing with the sound a little bit. All right, now we're going to move on to the Carolina Panthers, guys. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Christina. Rico Dowdell goes there on a 1-year deal. $3 million. That's a bargain, man. Some of these running backs took really, really crappy deals. I think Rico Dowdell is worth way more than $3 million. They got an interesting running back situation with Chuba Hubbard, and they released Miles Sanders as well, guys. They brought in Sam Martin, the punter, 1 year, $3 million. The fact that the punter is making the same amount of money as Rico Dowdell blows my mind. I don't get that at all whatsoever. Call me crazy, guys, but that just makes no sense to me. Makes zero freaking sense to me. The punter and a backup running back making the same amount of money. Edgar, I think he got underpaid, man. 2-year deal, $20 million. I think his agent got him a shitty deal. I mean, 2 years, I don't know. 2 years, $20 million. I don't love the deal. Which wide receiver would I think is better fit for the Bills to draft, Bond or Royals? I do like Jalen Royals too. They're very different players. Isaiah Bond is kind of a Deshaun Jackson, take the top off a defense kind of guy. And I think Royals is more of a possession receiver. What's up, Emo? What's up, Christopher? I would love for them to get Simmons, man. I mean, I don't know how it's going to work out. The Eagles are a little bit in, I wouldn't say cap trouble, but they got to be careful what they're spending. I don't know what his value is going to be on the open market to bring in Simmons. All right, the Panthers also brought in Treshaun Wharton, 3 years, $54 million. Yeah, if your kid can be an interior defensive lineman, they make some money. Yeah, Jacob, it all depends how that injury is, man. You know what I mean? So that'll probably be a lot of these guys who got hurt, like a Stephon Diggs, it's probably going to be a later signing closer to camp when they can get a better idea of like how bad he is physically. You know what I mean? I think Pittsburgh made a good deal bringing in DK Metcalf. But, yeah, Jacob, I like that deal too. But they don't have a quarterback. So the Steelers are going to be in the same spot they were in last year, right? They got to win games in the fourth quarter. Keep them close and try to win in the fourth quarter. Yeah, the Panthers also brought in Bobby Brown III, a fourth-round pick in 2021. PFF grade of a 60 all 4 years. He's just an okay player. Patrick Jones, 2 years, $20 million, the edge defender. And they brought in Trayvon Moehrig, cornerback, got a monster deal, 3 years, $51 million. Yeah, I mean, the Steelers deals are precarious because they don't have a quarterback, right? So you sign a big time, and they gave DK Metcalf a shit ton of money, right? So they gave him all that money, and no one who's going to throw him the ball. Yeah, Miles Sanders would have been a good deal too, Christopher. I agree with that. But AJ Dillon's a dog. If he doesn't get hurt, he's a big time. He's got big time potential. Thoughts on the Colts adding two of the top available DBs, Ward and Bynum. So yeah, I'll go down to the Colts and we'll check out their offseason real quick. We'll do a little run through on the Colts. PFF gave them a B overall grade. They brought in Neville Gallimore, 1 year, $2.5 million. Daniel Jones, I like that move. I do like that move. He's definitely more of an accurate passer than Anthony Richardson. So Richardson really struggles to throw the ball accurately and on time. So they brought in Ashton Dulin, 2 years, $8.5 million, the wide receiver. Travarius Ward, 3 years, $60 million, $35 million guaranteed. I like the Travarius Ward deal. I think that's a solid deal. Yeah, I mean, everything went wrong in San Francisco, so Ward could definitely be a bounce-back candidate. That whole defense was just bad. The pass rush was bad. It's hard to play cornerback in the NFL when your team has a horrible pass rush, for sure. So he's got to bounce back for sure. A lot of money for a guy who had a down year, though, for sure. And they also brought in safety Cameron Bynum, 4 years, $60 million. Probably overpaid a little bit. New defensive coordinator Lou, how do you say his last name? Anarumo. Lou Anarumo. That's a fun name to say, huh, guys? You know, he's heading to Indianapolis, and they want to invest in the secondary, right? But for me, pass rush is definitely a concern for me as well. That Colts defense definitely underachieved a little bit for me. Yeah, JJ, you're 100% right about that. It all comes down to quarterback play, man. Good quarterback play helps you win playoff games. Hey, Nation of Damon Nation. Boo. Everybody boo Nation of Damon Nation. Boo. She's doing great, man. Her and the wife took a nice little walk before we did this live stream around the neighborhood. It was nice. Big Dog Dawkins, what's going on? Roll Tide Ben, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. Guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm 6 more subscribers away from getting to 300 this month so far. We're at 14,664, guys. Help me get to 300 for the month. I need 6 more subscribers. How are the Falcons doing? They need pass rush help desperately, man. Definitely need pass rush help desperately, right? They haven't done anything in free agency where I'm like, ooh, that's a great move. I don't know. I think Atlanta's probably going to be pretty mediocre. They signed Leonard Floyd to a 1-year deal, Mike Hughes to a 3-year deal. Falcons haven't done much in free agency at all. No, I'm not going to. I live in California, Christopher Baker. I live in Cali, so I'm not going to be back in home in Philly for the game. Yeah, we'll see if Mahomes and company can go back for number 4, right? What's up, Patrick Cooper? Welcome to the chat. Okay, for me, when I look at the Eagles' defense in totality, obviously they're going to spend a lot of their first 3 picks probably on defense, if I would, make my assumption. Okay, so it's not like guys that left. There aren't guys like Milton Williams. Ajomo played really well in the playoffs. He looks like he could take over. And Jalix Hunt. Don't forget about Jalix Hunt. He played very well in the playoffs. Could take over that Josh Sweat role as well. So, and Fangio is a big reason why they drafted Jalix Hunt. So I expect the Eagles to really give Jalix Hunt a chance to start next year. That's my thoughts on that. I think cornerback is a big need. I don't trust the guys like Ringo. I mean, I just don't trust them. Sidney Brown, too, at the safety spot. I think cornerback and safety definitely need to be addressed in the first few rounds of the draft for the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, Falcons could definitely use a big-time pass rusher. James Pierce Jr., Mike Green. Mike Green and James Pierce both come with some off-the-field issues, guys. So maybe a guy like Donovan Azaraku out of Boston College could be a little bit better. Comes with a little bit less baggage. Oh, thanks, JJ. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I only need 6 more subscribers to get to 300 for the month, right? Trying to get up to 15K by the end of March. We'll see if we get there, man. We're about 36 away. 336 more subscribers away to get to 15K. Thoughts on Luke Gifford to San Francisco? I think San Francisco is in serious trouble, man. At this point, like, they need a lot more than Luke Gifford, right? I don't know. The 49ers blew it up. They blew it up because they got to pay Brock Purdy. So sometimes when you got to pay your quarterback, you got to blow it up, get rid of these bloated contracts. They went for a ring. It didn't work out. So they got to start over, man. They need draft picks. And when you have a big contract at quarterback, you got to do what the Eagles are doing. Let some of your free agents walk, get some compensatory picks, and rebuild through the draft. Not all of them, Edgar. I'm like, it's an ongoing process. Like every week I'll watch a little more, and just kind of building up my knowledge of all these different guys. I like Malachi Starks, man. I think he could be a difference maker at the NFL level. He could be a general out there at the safety position. I like Malachi Starks. There's 2 big safeties that are, I think, difference makers in the first couple rounds. And the other guys, like later in the draft, like Malachi Moore from Alabama, you got to take some flyers on. Yeah, but Fangio really came through at the Super Bowl when it mattered, right? Really came through. All right, Ryan Taylor podcast. What's going on, buddy? Talk about the Saints situation, right? They're kind of in a similar spot where Spencer Rattler didn't play good. Derek Carr is not the solution long term, right? For me, you got to just get good football players, good weapons. And if you look at the Saints, there's a lot of holes to fill, man. They could use another wide receiver. They could definitely use a quarterback. I don't know if they go quarterback early in the draft. There's just some guys that are like could be decent quarterbacks later in the draft. But for me, the Saints have a lot of work to do. Pass rush, big need. Interior defensive line, D-tackle is a big place of need for the Saints. And Ramczyk, is he going to come back off that injury? How's he going to look? The tackle situation, is a little suspect, right? Tylese Fuanga, he played okay as a rookie. Not bad. 1,000 snaps, 65 grade. That's not bad for a rookie, right? Thrown in there. And it's not like he's playing. The left guard spot was atrocious. 52, 56 grade for Nick Saldiveri. He was pretty awful. So, McCoy, the center, didn't play a lot of snaps this year. Only about 300. They got a young, inexperienced offensive line. So, the Saints, I think offensive line early makes a lot of sense for the Saints. Or a guy like the tight end. Bringing in a guy like Tyler Warren makes some sense. Juwan Taylor, he's their number 1 tight end right now. Oh, thanks, Pat Cooper. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, just kind of call it like I see it, man. I watch the tape. I do the research. I listen to other people talk about them as well and then formulate my own opinions, right? That's kind of how I roll. Yeah, the Niners got old with a bunch of bloated contracts, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a bad situation in San Francisco, guys, straight up. There's no other way to slice it. No other way to slice it. It is a not good situation in San Francisco. If they win over 8 games this year, I will be 100% surprised. Thanks, guys. We just added 1 more subscriber up to 14,665. I appreciate you guys. It all depends how the board falls, Christopher Baker. You know, if there's an opportunity to go get one of these pass rushers, say like Donovan Ezeraku falls into the mid-20s, maybe the Eagles move up and grab him, right? But if you look at what they did last year, they didn't move up in the first round, and then in the second round, because you don't have to give up as much in the second round to move up as you do in the first round, right? So I think it's a better idea business-wise if you like pair up one of these fourth or fifth round picks and move up in the second round a couple picks as opposed to moving up in the first round, because that fifth-year option holds a lot of value, right? So you're going to have to give up a lot more in draft compensation. So that's my thoughts on that. Yeah, Chase Young's okay. Attitude-wise, he's not my favorite player. Yeah, Mike Green could fit the Saints for sure. I just think they have other needs. You know, Carl Granderson was pretty good off the edge last year. He's had over an 80 grade in 22, 7 and 23, 74 grade, 79 grade in 2024. Granderson's pretty good. The other spot, him and Chase Young on the edge. I'd rather go interior defensive line. Definitely some holes there for the Saints guys. And then every spot on the offensive line, I do like their tackles aren't bad because Ramczyk, remember, he was hurt all last year and didn't play, but he's a really good player when he's healthy. Former first-round pick. I like their tackles. Their guards could be upgraded and interior defensive line. That's where I go. Jalen, what's going on, buddy? Thank you so much for the support. Thanks, Ryan Taylor. Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, the Niners, it's not looking good. Deep Space, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. That's right, Jacob. My parents are still back in Philly hanging out. Yeah, I think you're... I don't... Hold on, I'm going to butcher this. Scarish does stuff. I think that's how you pronounce it. I agree with you 100%. You got to reset it because they got to pay Brock Purdy. Because if they're going to not pay Brock Purdy, they're going to trade him probably for a second-round pick because there's not a lot of time left on his contract. I don't think people are going to give up a first for Brock Purdy, but I expect them to sign him to an extension before the season starts. And then you can start figuring out how the hell to bring this shit back for San Francisco. Sometimes you got to blow it up. That's kind of where they're at right now, guys. That's kind of where San Francisco is. Unfortunately, that's the way it is sometimes. Yeah, I think they're going to keep Purdy, but we'll see what happens. You never know. You never know how that kind of works out. I expect them to keep Purdy, but you never know. Absolutely never know. Yeah, so they're getting rid of a lot of their big bloated contracts. A lot of their big contracts are coming to an end. So that's kind of the name of the game, right? They got rid of the Debo contract. Hufanga is gone. Trey Greenlaw is gone. A lot of these guys are gone. So it's like they're in the process of doing it, man. It's a process. That's kind of where they're at right now. And they just traded their running back too. Like it's 49ers fans are probably beside themselves. So I don't know. It's crazy. When you look at this 49ers team, you're just like, OMG, man. Yeah, Jordan Mason, like, what, like, so does that mean Christian McCaffrey is healthy? They just traded Jordan Mason to the Vikings, who re-signed Aaron Jones for a 6th-round pick. All that production from Jordan Mason to trade him for a 6th-round pick, I don't get that at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Purdy's bad at all. I mean, last year the offensive line was hurt. Every wide receiver was hurt. Christian McCaffrey's hurt. I mean, it's hard to put on the Superman cape every week and go win football games, dude. It's the NFL. I mean, I like Purdy because he throws the ball accurately for the most part and he throws on time in tight windows. I like Purdy. Yeah, the 49ers have to rebuild in the draft, guys. They got to. You know, I mean, they don't really have another choice. They're getting rid of all their bigger contracts. It's a interesting spot for the 49ers. 49ers fans are probably like, what the F are we doing? It's a crazy, crazy time for 49ers fans. But they got a 1, a 2, a 3, a second 3, 2 4s, 2 5s, and 3 7s. They got a lot of picks, a lot of ammo. A lot of ammo. They got, what, 4 picks in the top 100, 5 picks in the top 115. Not bad. Not bad, guys. Guys, welcome back to the Jay All Day Sports Show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. We are talking some NFL football, just chopping it up, answering your questions about free agency. Nancy Amaral, welcome to the chat. What's going on? Yeah, Robert, I don't know what the heck is going on in Dallas, buddy. I like when the Cowboys are, competitive. But, again, asleep at the wheel during free agency for the Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence left town. Cooper Rush is gone. Rico Dowdell's gone. This Cowboys team is going to be not good next year. I'm saying between 6 and 8 wins for the Cowboys. It's not looking good in Dallas at all whatsoever, guys. They still only have one wide receiver. Cooks is a free agent. He hasn't signed anywhere yet. I mean, Kittle's a dog. I mean, I think Kelsey's probably got the numbers over his career. But Kittle is, and he's just such a good guy. Plays hard every week. Kittle's the guy you want in your organization. I like myself some George Kittle. That is for sure, guys. But I appreciate you guys tuning into the live stream. Hope everyone had a nice weekend, and then we're back at it next week. I got a Pittsburgh Steelers mock that I got to edit for you guys next week. We put out a new Eagles mock today. What else? We put out a Bills mock, and then I did a whole first round mock draft. Go check that out, guys. It's doing pretty good. It's got like 2,000 views already. It's a long video, but it's great for like a podcast. If you're at work, strap that on. That's a good podcast. Yeah, Ryan, you're probably right. They're probably going to go trenches early and then work their way out as the draft goes on. Robert, it really depends how the board falls. But, when I'm looking at this Cowboys roster, man, they need a lot of help. I think trying to bring in one of these guys to play left tackle and then kicking Guyton over to right tackle makes the most sense. They need a right guard. They also need another wide receiver, a guy like Luther Burden. There's a big hole at running back. Genty makes sense. Omarion Hampton makes sense. And another edge rusher like James Pierce Jr. could make some sense. Mike Green. Yeah, that was super funny, man. I think he got fined pretty big for that, I think, right? Got a pretty nice fine there. Yeah, safety, the Cowboys. There's not a spot on this Cowboys roster where you're like, minus Parsons on defense, where you're like, he's going to be a staple there for a long time. Him and CeeDee Lamb. Everyone else is expendable. This roster looks awful. I'm looking at the PFF grades of the starters. As of right now, this Cowboys roster looks awful. It looks worse than it did last year when I was like, this team is not going to be very good. I called that early, the J All Day Show. We called that early that the Cowboys would struggle. I think the Cowboys are going to struggle to win games this year, man. Yeah, I agree, Robert. I think they're really going to struggle to win games. Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, man. That's just like... It's hard to, I don't know. It's so hard to tell because look what Justin Jefferson did last year with Sam Darnold at quarterback. Obviously, Jamar Chase has Joe Burrow. A little bit easier, right? But Jamar Chase has been successful with every quarterback. So I'm probably going to go Justin Jefferson if I got a gun to my head, I think I got to go Justin Jefferson. I agree, Robert. Yeah, I tend to agree. 1A and 1B, right? Oh, thanks, Chris. I appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, I'm trying to get the show out there. We're starting to grow pretty good, man. We're almost at 15,000 subscribers. So, we've been doing football for like a year and a half, and we're almost at 15,000 subscribers. So, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I want to get up to 50 and 100K, but we'll get there all in due time, right? We're up to 14,665 subscribers, guys. I mean, I think the Eagles win the division. I think the Commanders are going to regress a little bit. All these teams have a year of tape on Jaden Daniels. They're going to be able to figure him out a little more than they did this year. So some of those close games they won, I don't know if they win them, especially because that defense for the Commanders is not great. Yeah, Robert, I don't know what team in the NFC beats the Eagles. If the Eagles play Eagles football, I don't see what team beats the Eagles. I just don't. I think the Chiefs are going to struggle, man. I think the Buffalo Bills, the Ravens, the Chargers, and the Broncos are going to give them a run for their money this year, man. I really do. And if the Chiefs didn't win the AFC West, I would not be surprised. For me, Chris, they got to go. It obviously depends on how the board falls, but offensive line. Their offensive line, even if it's a guard, like Donovan Jackson or something, like the Chiefs need to protect Patrick Mahomes. Because if you give Mahomes time, he can make bum receivers play better. But as we saw in the Super Bowl, if the offensive line plays like ass, then he becomes human. So for me, I got to go offensive line. Yeah, Connolly makes himself. Kelvin Banks, if he drops, makes some sense. Yeah. They brought in Jalen. They got Jalen Moore and Juwan Taylor at the tackle spots right now. They're bringing back Trey Smith. I like that. Humphrey is a dog. Creed Humphrey is like the best center in the NFL. So right now, I don't know. They owe Juwan Taylor a lot of money. Yeah, I'm hoping that the Broncos and Chargers and Raiders step up. Yeah, that whole Xavier Worthy thing was kind of crazy. But we'll see what happens, guys. But yeah, for me, for the Chiefs, I want to see them bring in some D-line help for Chris Jones. Another D tackle and another D end makes some sense. They got a 4-3 base defense, so the linebackers look pretty solid. Maybe another safety. They could add some cornerback depth as well. But edge, D end, and D tackle for sure for the Chiefs. 100%, guys. Guys, if you have any questions about what your favorite team should draft or what I think about what they did in free agency, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll answer all of your questions, guys. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers only has the one Super Bowl ring, Jacob, so he's just an old man, 41. I can't believe he's still playing in the NFL. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers just, I don't know, hasn't looked good. Coming back from that Achilles, I don't know. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank. For me, it's either Pittsburgh Steelers or bust for Rodgers. I'm not going to go to the Giants to win 6 or 7 games. 100%, JJ. I appreciate you, man. We'll get there, man. I would love to be able to quit my day job and do this full time, but we're not quite there yet, guys. Not quite there yet. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. What's up, Master? Welcome to the chat, buddy. We're here talking some NFL football, guys. You got any questions about your team? What they're going to do in the draft? Any of that stuff? Make sure you let me know in the comments down below, and I'll answer all your questions. Yeah, Ryan, I agree. Adding one of these running backs in the second round could make some sense. Probably a little bit, Robert. Probably a little bit for sure. But I like Rico Dowdell. I think he signed for... I thought he would sign for more money than he signed for. You know it. Go Birds! Top 3 wide receivers right now. I mean, it's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. And then there's a slew of guys knocking on the door. You know, Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown. You know, for me, doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's on there as well, 100%. Yeah, it's Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and then there's like 7 or 8 guys that are all in the next few spots. CeeDee Lamb, 88, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I mean, I just think at 41, he doesn't got much left in the tank, guys. Yeah, we'll see. Scarish does stuff. That definitely worries me. Pickens and DK Metcalf in the same locker room. We could see some fireworks next year, especially if shit doesn't go well. But I appreciate you guys tuning in on Sunday, hanging out, chopping it up, talking some ball. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. But yeah, we're ready to get this NFL show on the road, guys. The draft is 5 weeks away. Pretty much all the big rocks have fallen so far this offseason. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are still left, right? So we got to see where they end up. But I expect a lot of these teams like the Jets, the Steelers, to go quarterback later in the draft. But I appreciate you guys tuning in to the JL Day NFL show. We're here chopping it up, talking some ball here, guys, talking some ball. Let me know if you got any questions down below about some of your favorite teams, what they did this offseason. Let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, guys. They had a great offseason. PFF gave them an A+ grade. Harrison Smith comes back for like, what, year 14 or whatever? Crazy. 1 year, $10 million. Javon Hargrave, I think that's a very, very sneaky signing. 2 years, $30 million. I like that. Will Fries, I love that deal. They paid him a lot of money, though. 5 years, $88 million. A lot of money, dude. Lot of money. They also brought in Jonathan Allen, 3 years, $51 million. I think they probably overpaid for him a little bit. The worst team in your opinion? Kobe fan, yeah, that would be great for Justin Simmons. The worst team? I mean, it's so hard not to say Jacksonville. They just are so bad every year. They're just like the worst run organization. The Giants are really bad. The NFC South, the Saints are not very good. The 49ers are going to be terrible too. 49ers, the Browns. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how the Titans play. The defense actually played pretty good last year for the Titans. The offense was just like unworldly bad. So if they could like even be like sort of respectable on offense, they'll win more games. Kind of same thing with the Browns. The Browns defense is pretty good. They got Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett. They could be potentially adding a guy like Abdul Carter to that defense. You know, that makes some sense to be a pretty solid unit. But their offense is just so bad. It puts so much stress on the defense. They don't play as well together. You know what I mean? Like, from a guy, I played defense my whole life. When you're on the field the whole game, it sucks, dude. You're out there dying, getting your butt whooped, you know. It's tough. When the offense is really bad, it's tough. Vikings also brought back Byron Murphy, 3 years, $66 million. They brought in center Ryan Kelly. Isaiah Rodgers, great deal, 2 years, $15 million. The dude can really run. Aaron Rodgers back for 2 more years, $20 million deal. Pretty solid offseason for the Vikings, guys. Yeah, I mean, the way you beat Patrick Mahomes is by getting in his face with only rushing 4 guys. That's how you beat Patrick Mahomes. What's up, Austin? Welcome to the chat, man. All right, Patriots got a B+ grade. They've been spending some cash, guys. Calais Von Chasen, 1 year, $5 million at the edge. Mac Hollins, 2 years, $10 million. You know it. Kobe was a big birds guy. Milton Williams, 4 years, $104 million. Woo! $60 million guaranteed. Whoa, baby. Yeah, I like Will Campbell. I think he's more of a guard than a tackle at the NFL level with the short arms and the small hands. But I like Will Campbell. He's a really good player. He can be an all-pro guard in the NFL probably. Top 3 MVP candidates. It's going to be Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Like, the MVP has become a quarterback award. So what other quarterback has a big year? You could throw Jalen Hurts in there. You could throw Joey Burrow in there. I love Justin Herbert, too, if he could get some wide receivers with the Chargers. Seems like, and like you can't count out C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels. I mean, the Eagles beat the brakes off the Chiefs, man. And then the first play of the game, what was it, like the first drive of the game, the Chiefs got that big pass interference call. That was ridiculous, offensive pass interference on A.J. Brown. They were still getting calls and still got spanked. So, they got brutalized. I agree with you 100%, Robert. Probably the best running back season we saw in the history of the NFL. If he can't win the MVP doing that, what's the point of having an MVP? I don't know. The MVP was silly. It's silly. Mason Graham to the Raiders, that's a very big possibility. I don't know if he gets past the Jaguars at 5, though. Jaguars could really use that interior defensive lineman. But Mason Graham and Crosby next to each other would be gangster bros. Yeah, they need another wide receiver like Austin. The Chargers need an ex-wide receiver, man. Lad McConkey can't catch 12 balls a game and get 25 targets. It's stupid. Yeah, 100% Kobe fan. I think bringing in A.J. Dillon and Will Shipley's no slouch either, man. So I like the move. I love the A.J. Dillon move. I thought that was a really smart move. Very similar runner to Saquon Barkley. Yeah, that was definitely a little shady flag there, Jacob, for sure, buddy. Definitely a shady flag. Yeah, John B., I thought that was really weird, too. My thought is, like, say if Lamar Jackson gets hurt, then they're going to change their offense, right? To just hand the ball off, short 7 to 12-yard routes. Cooper Rush can do that pretty well. That's the only reason why that deal makes sense to me. They're going to want to play strong defense and not turn the ball over. Cooper Rush is pretty good protecting the football. But still a weird signing, too. I agree with that. I just don't know if he's got the build, man. I like Xavier Worthy, don't get me wrong. But to catch 10, 12 balls a game and be a true X-wide receiver at 170 pounds, his body's going to take a kicking, man. And then, on running plays, cornerbacks and safeties are going to be coming for him. I mean, Malachi Starks, I don't think he falls to the Eagles, but I would love that. Eman Wari or Starks to the Birds makes a ton of sense, guys. I would love that. Love it! Guys, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, man. Hit the like button and subscribe, guys. Do it. Do it. We're at 14,665 subscribers, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Yeah, I don't know. Xavier Worthy, yeah, it was like choking a family member he got in trouble for or something, right? Super weird. Super weird. But all right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. I might come back in a couple hours. We'll see, but not a lot of people are on right now hanging out. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'll catch you guys either later this week or later tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace. Good night, man. Have a great week, guys.